Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Satya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam online classes. In physics, the chapter Force and Motion. This is a very interesting chapter. It has got a lot of application in daily life. I think all of you are ready. Okay? Take out your textbook, pen and a working book. Get ready. Okay? Let us just revise what we have seen in the previous class. Meaning of force, its uses in daily life. Force is something which changes the shape of the substance, which changes a body at rest to move, or a moving body to change its speed and direction. So there are a very good number of examples where force is being used. Is it not? For every action you need force. You want to stand on the floor, you want force. Bowling, you want force. Batting, you want force. Eating, everything needs force. Is it not? And there are two types of forces, namely balanced force and unbalanced force. Balanced force is something in which the two forces will be equal to each other, equal and opposite to each other. Unbalanced is one where the two forces do not know balance. Okay? And other day we discussed about the tug of war. The two teams are equally strong, then we call it as balanced force. If one team is strong and pull to one side, we say unbalanced force. Is it not? Also, we have studied a very important property called inertia and mass. Inertia of a body is a property of a body. A body at rest will be there only. A body in motion will be in the same motion until and unless it is acted upon by an external force. This property of the bodies is called as inertia. The fruits are there in the tree. It will be there for a long time. But if we shake the tree or beat, then what happens? The fruits will fall. So what makes the fruits fall? External force is applied. Is it not? And this inertia depends on mass also. If the mass is more, inertia is more. If the mass is less, inertia is less. For example, to push an empty box from one place to another, very less energy is required. If the same box is filled with books or some articles, you have to apply more force. So that's how inertia is connected with the mass. Same thing is what is called as Newton's first law. The examples are very good number. Is it not? Other day we gave an example of a tumbler filled with water under which a paper is kept. If you pull the paper, water and the tumbler with water will be there only. Is it not? So a vehicle in the car park will be there only. When you just start it, it starts moving. So external force is necessary to change the state of rest or of uniform motion. Is it not? When a bowler bowls, the batsman phases it. He may hit a sixer or a four, he may give a hook to it, or he may leave it if it is outside the off stump. Is it not? So a kind of force will change the direction of the moving ball. That is what we call it as a hitting. Is it not? So there are so many examples like that in daily life. Also, we have seen Newton's second law of motion. This rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied, and it moves in the direction of the force. And we got a formula, a very important formula as far as physics is concerned, and that is what is called as force is equal to mass into acceleration. F is equal to ma. What is F? F is force, m is mass, a is acceleration. What is the unit of force? Unit of force is Newton. When you say a force of 1 Newton means when a body of mass 1 kilogram moves with an acceleration of 1 meter per second square, then the force is called as 1 Newton. So Newton is a unit of force. It is the respect given to the founder, Sir Isaac Newton. And we have seen so many examples how the momentum changes, how the action of force applies there. Is it not? If we have two balls, one cork ball and one tennis ball, even though they move with the same velocity, it is easy to stop the tennis ball because the mass is less, but the mass of the cork ball is more, so difficult. You have to take little to do more effort. Is it not? Similarly, if there are two bodies like one bullock cart and one car, the mass may be same, but the velocity changes. Car moves fast, it is very difficult to stop the car, but you can stop the bullock cart easily. Is it not? Because velocity is less. So there are two things under the topic called momentum, and this momentum is a very important aspect in physics, which already I have discussed. And now we shall see the home assignments. The first question is, two similar trucks are moving on a road with same velocity. One of them is empty, other one is loaded. Which one has more momentum? Answer is, momentum is measured by the formula mass into velocity, and the unit will be kg. Mass is measured in kg, velocity is measured in meter per second. So momentum of loaded truck is more because mass is more. Even the velocity is same, mass is more, right? And that's why the momentum of a loaded vehicle is more. That is the answer for the question. Coming to second question. A body of mass 5 kgs moves with velocity of 10 meter per second. What is the momentum of the body? Momentum is equal to, we call it as usually by P, m into v, 5 into 10, 50 kg meter per second. So that is the answer for the second question, just multiplying the two. So the third question, why does a boxer move his head backward while taking an oncoming punch? That you have heard about a very interesting game called boxing, and it is again to decrease the rate of change of momentum. The boxer moves his head backward. That is what is called as punch. They will use so this is one pose of the boxers. Here this boxer is hitting him. So while hitting, to avoid that hit, he will move his head backward because the intensity of momentum will be very high. That's why to avoid or to reduce the momentum, he will move his head backward. Now let us see one video on this, which is a international game, and I think all of you will enjoy to see it. So here you see one of the boxer is trying to hit him, but the other one is moving his head backward because that intensity of the punch will be very much. To avoid that punch, he takes his head backward. Okay, this is also very interesting, boxing. You can see in your videos also. Now today's topic, very interesting and very most important law of motion. That is the third law of motion. I think you have not seen the photo of Sir Isaac Newton, a very famous England scientist. He was a very genius. He born in 1643, lived up to 1727, and he did lot of innovative experiments. And you may not believe that Newton was a headmaster of a high school at the age of 11. 11 means just about say 5th or 6th class. You may ask how it is. Because his father was running a school in London, and there, because of some unseen disease, he died. And after his death, there was nobody to look after the school. Because Newton was very genius, the authorities, the committee members decided to make him as a headmaster. He was so genius that when he was studying in a primary school, he was answering the questions of high school. When he was in high school, he was answering the college level questions. Such a genius fellow. And his math science teacher used to salute him, that you know so many things, there is no need of our telling to you. That was his intelligence. And but he was very humble also, very spiritual person. You also, when you become elder and get some position, you may get lot of money, you may get lot of power, position, but you should never forget that it is all by the grace of God. One day he was moving with his friend on a seashore, and while going, his friend was praising him. Newton, how much you have discovered, you are so great, like that. Then what did he do? No, he took a piece of sand and shown. See, my dear friend, what I have discovered is so small, one piece of sand. What I have to discover, or what is there in this universe, is so much like the sand on the seashore. So don't praise me. My contribution is very, very small. But he did not leave. You did that, you did this, you did that he said. But he was so humble. He said that in God's creation, I am a small part of the creation. That's what he was telling. Okay. Now let us see the last and most important law of Newton. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Action and reaction. They are the very interesting words. Now let us take some examples where action and reactions are involved. When a rubber balloon is filled with air, I think all of you have seen balloon, right? You have to bloat it. You have to fill it with air. Then what happens? After fully filling the balloon, if you leave it, what happens? Air will come out. So air coming out is action, and balloon going up, just opposite to this is reaction. So Newton's third law is based on, there will be two objects here, and there will be two actions here. One is called action, another is called reaction. Both are forces only. So here the force with which the air goes out, with the same force in the reverse direction, the balloon moves. So that is what is called as Newton's third law. And let us see one more example. When you jump from a boat to the river bank, see this girl is jumping from the boat. Here is the boat, and her jumping from the boat is called action. And when she jumps like this, the boat will be pushed in another direction. That is reaction. Okay? The boat moves in the backward direction. The boat will be pushed back. While jumping out of the boat, your foot exerts a backward force on the boat. So you have to take little force now. To jump means you have to take little force. This force is called action. So the girl pushing this boat is called action. At the same time, a force is exerted by the boat on your foot, which makes you to move forward, and by which the boat is pushed backwards. So that is what is called as reaction. A girl jumping out of a boat is a very interesting example of Newton's third law. Okay, now let us see one more example. During swimming, we push water in a backward direction with our hands and feet. How many know swimming? Okay, most of you may be knowing. So there will be what is called as action. Means you have to pull water backside. That is action. By pulling water backside, you will be moving forward. That is reaction. So one is action, another is reaction. It's a very interesting hobby. If you don't know it, you can learn. You are all younger, boys and girls. In this young age only you must learn as much as possible. There are 64 vidyas to be learnt. This is one of the vidya. Swimming is one kind of vidya. So you can learn. You can take the help of somebody. Very interesting one. But here what is happening? This person is moving forward because he is pushing water backside, and legs also pushing the water backside. So the pushing of water is action, is going forward is a reaction. And this is another example of that. We will see one more example of movement of rockets and jets. Work on the principle of action and reaction. In each of this, the fuel burns. The burning of fuel is action. And the movement of, so while burning fuel, what happens? There will be gases coming out and they will be ejected. The hot gas come out of in the backward direction, and rocket and jet plane moves in the forward direction. Is it not? Usually liquid hydrogen and oxygen. Liquid, both are liquids they use. Sometimes they use solids also. That is what is called as propellant. We are going to study that later about construction and working of rockets. Okay. Now you know the principle, that's enough. So this movement of jet plane also, rocket also. What is jet plane? Jet plane don't have the propeller. It moves in the principle of this burning of fuel only. More the burning of fuel, the speed of the gases coming out, more will be the speed of the rocket. And what is the speed of the rocket? Usually rockets will start with the speed of 2 kilometer per hour. 2 kilometer per second, sorry. And they will reach a speed of 11 kilometer per second. That is called escape velocity. So escape velocity, and that is the speed at which it crosses the Earth's atmosphere. Okay, very interesting thing. You can see a lot of videos on this also. We will give a very sample of the video now. You want to see one video of the rocket movement, right? And what is the use of this rocket? Rockets are used to carry the satellites to the space, and it has also carried a man to the moon, right? Was the first man to land on the moon? Neil Armstrong from USA. Okay, so it can carry person also. Then it is called manned, M-A-N-N-E-D, manned rocket, and usually it will be unmanned rocket. So let us see one small video now. Are you ready? Don't fear, but a very interesting one. You can just see a sample of the rocket movement.
Of the Delta rocket carrying GLASS, a gamma ray telescope searching for unseen physics in the stars of the galaxies.
See, this is the gases coming out, and that is the movement of the rocket. This is called a multi-stage rocket. You can see so many small rockets here on the sides. And is it nice? Okay, you can see many such videos in your TV or mobile. So this is also based on the Newton's third law. The gases coming out is called as action, and the rocket moving up is called as reaction. Okay, now let us see one more example. When a bullet is fired from a rifle, this is what is called as rifle, also called as gun. And when a bullet is fired, there will be bullet here inside. And when the bullet is fired, see, the bullet is going forward. What happens to the rifle? Rifle will be moving backward. So, of course, the bullet mass is very small, but velocity is more. It moves very fast. And that means momentum of the bullet will be equal and opposite to the momentum of the rifle or gun. Here mass may be more, but velocity is less. So here I remember one incident of Swami Vivekananda. You want to hear one story? Only for 2 minutes I will tell. Swami Vivekananda was once in America going on a bridge, the top of a bridge. And he saw some youngsters, practicing aiming of a egg. An egg was kept about 50 feet in distance, and they were having bullet, having a rifle in their hands, and they were practicing breaking of the egg. Whoever breaks in the 3 shots will be given some award. That was the condition, something like $100. So they were all practicing, but it was not possible. Swami Vivekananda was standing on the bridge, and he saw, let me also try. He came down the steps of the bridge and came near the boys who are their youngsters. Vivekananda was very fond of youngsters. That is why even now also we celebrate his birthday as World Youth Day. Which date? January 12th. So he also took the gun and he said, I will also try. They laughed at him. What the sannyasi, the orange red robe, can do for the firing of a bullet? And he also laughed. You give me a chance, he said. I will try. So Swami Vivekananda was not knowing how to handle this gun. He was handing in the chest level. And again the boys laughed. If you keep like that, you will die, because it will hit on your chest. Oh, okay, he said. Then one of the guys came and told, you must have it in your side, and then you must shoot it. This is called triggering. So you will trigger it, just pressing the horse there. Vivekananda was very happy, so he took it in the sidewards. He looked at the egg, at the target, because he was doing meditation. How many of you are doing meditation every day? Of course, some may be doing, but at least now onwards practice. So Vivekananda practiced meditation from his young age. He took the gun. He just saw the target, namely egg, kept at a distance of 50 feet, and with closed eye, at one shot, the egg was broken. They were surprised. These youngsters who were jeering at him, laughing at him, became silent. That amount, the prize amount have given to him, and said, they saluted him. You are really great. And how he could succeed so excellently, that is because of his concentration. How he got concentration? Because of meditation. So please practice that. You also will become like Swami Vivekananda. Okay? And now let us see what is called as conservation of momentum. The law of conservation of momentum is, in an isolated system, says the momentum remains conserved before and after the collision, provided there is no external force acting on them. Means momentum before impact is equal to momentum after impact. What do we impact? To give an example, all of you know carom, playing of carom, right? We all keep all the pawns, right? And there will be a striker. Striker is a bigger one. That's also a pawn. So hit by the striker to the, pile of pawns. When you hit it, the pawn will be pushed off. That is a striking take place. So here, momentum and velocity of the striker and momentum velocity of the pawn is conserved. Means momentum before impact is equal to momentum after impact. So that is what is called as conservation of momentum. So, of course, there should not be any external force. External force means there should not be disturbance of the wind, disturbance of the floor, like that. If there is no disturbance, momentum before impact P1 is equal to P2 when F is equal to 0. So, we know that the rate of change of momentum is equal to the force. So, this P1 is the initial momentum, P2 is the final momentum. So, the change is P2 minus P1 by T, that is the rate of momentum. That is equal to force. This shows that momentum of a system remains unchanged. So that is the conservation of momentum. Okay. Now we will see one experiment, a demonstration to illustrate this. A plastic channel of about 40 centimeter length is taken in which 7 marbles are taken. So this is the plastic channel and some kind of pipe, you can say, in which the marbles are there. And these marbles, I think all of you know marbles. What do you call it as goli in Kannada? All of you have played that, no? You enjoy it. So what happens if you hit by the one marble to another marble, that marble will be moving out. Of course, the hit must be correct. Is it not? So the mass and velocity of the marble what you are hitting, and mass and velocity of the marble which is being hit, it will be conserved. That is by the law of conservation. Here, see, these marbles are kept in a, this one, it may be, here it is 6 or 7, whatever number, there is no importance for number here. Here, one of the marble, the channel is to be kept on a horizontal table and marbles are to be kept inside the channel. These are marbles are kept inside the channel. One of the marble is to be removed. So you have to remove it this side. So a distance of say 15 centimeters from others. And this marble is to be hit by a forefinger. So when you hit this one of the marbles by a forefinger, this will go and attack this. By which what happens? The last one will be pushed out. If you hit slowly, it will be going out slowly. If you hit fast, that will be coming out fast. Followed? So here the meaning is the momentum before impact is equal to momentum after impact. Okay? So the hitting process is called impact. So for which force is necessary. So this is a very interesting experiment. You can try yourself and verify it whether it is true or not. So we observe that after the collision, the moving marble, which has come out, and the last marble moves ahead out of the rest. So it comes ahead. Try to guess the speed of the marble after collision and compare it with the marble you had thrown before collision. The marble with which you are hitting, its mass and velocity, the marble which has come out, its mass and velocity, you have to compare. If the speeds are equal, then the momentum of the marble is same before and after collision. So the momentum before impact means before hitting, after hitting here, and momentum of the marble coming out also, they become same. That is what is called as law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so this is a very interesting item. So we have the law that is called as law of conservation of momentum. There will be what is called as impact, means application of force. So momentum before impact means m1 u1 plus m2 u2 if there are two balls or marbles. This is momentum after impact. Okay, so they will be same. And here m1, m2 are called masses of the two marbles or balls, whatever it is. u1, u2 are the speed before impact. v1, v2 are the speeds after impact. Okay, so this is an important law of conservation of momentum. Now we will work out one problem on this. A bullet of mass 0.05 kg, something like 50 grams, right, is fired with a velocity of 100 meters per second from a rifle of mass 5 kgs. Calculate the recoil velocity of the rifle. Recoil, suppose this is a rifle. When a bullet is fired, it comes back. That is called recoil. bullet goes forward, this rifle comes backward. Okay, so mass of the bullet is equal to 0.05 kg. Mass of the rifle is 5 kgs. And we call it as M1 for example. And this is M2. And the velocity, initial velocity of both will be 0. So before releasing the bullet, the velocity will be 0. That is called initial velocity. And final velocity of the bullet is V2, 100 meter per second. So bullet is fired out. The question is, how much the rifle, with what velocity rifle will come back? That we will call it as V1. We will call it as V1. Okay. Now you use the formula of conservation of momentum. M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. Here, because U1 and U2 are 0, product of the something into 0 is 0. So these two will become 0. So this is 5. This is about rifle, you are telling. This is about the bullet. So the mass of the rifle is 5 kgs. Velocity we don't know. We call it as V1. Mass of the bullet is 0.05 kg. Velocity is 100. So if you want to find out V1, you bring this side. When you bring this side, it will become minus 100 into 0.05. This is multiplied here, gets divided. So by law of transposition, so it becomes by 5. So minus into 100 into 0.05, that it becomes 5 by 5 becomes minus 1. What the minus 1 represents? Negative sign indicate the rifle would move in the direction opposite to that of bullet. Bullet will move forward. Rifle will come backward. That is called opposite direction. Okay. And now let us see some home assignments. First question, state Newton's third law of motion. Give 2 examples. Second question, a bullet of mass 25 grams. This grams you must convert it into kilograms. From a rifle of mass 2 kgs. Imagine that no other force acting on this system. If the bullet travels with a velocity of 2 meters per second, what will be the velocity of the recoil of the rifle? Will do it? Okay, try. Third question. A rifle having mass 5 kg fires a bullet of speed of 250 meters per second. If the rifle recoils with a velocity of 1 meter per second, find the mass of the bullet. Okay, so come prepared for the next class. Thank you.